Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As everyone is drifting in and taking their seats, we are ready to begin our service and to welcome Shabbat into our midst, even as we begin to say goodbye to the festival of Shavuot. Our congregation is a one-day congregation, but I'm sure that there are people among us who are two-day people. So for those people, as Dory says, Shabbat Shalom v'Chag Shavuot Sameach. So we're going to begin by singing.
Seems like a good place to start.
You would think that.
Blessed will you be. We start with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you enter in. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you choose to go. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be in the here and now. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be forevermore. Baruch atah b'moecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha, Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha, Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha, Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you enter in. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you choose to go. Blessed, 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 blessed where you live and where you love. Blessed, 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 blessed where you learn and where you pray. Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha, Baruch atah b'voecha, Baruch atah b'tzetecha.
I'd like to invite up Debbie and Geraldine to light our Shabbat candles.
Push down. Push down. Again?
There you go. Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'hadlek ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Thank you
Shalom
so
and
much.
Mazel Tov.
Speaking of Mazel Tov, we have a couple that are preparing for their wedding, and we're going to invite them up to receive a blessing. Becky Smedlin and Jeff Gordman, come on up. And by the way, there's a part for the congregation, so stay tuned. Come on, I'm going to take mine.
But I have to change it.
Ah, got it.
Here. You can like hold hands, you know, like you like each other. Kol sason v'kol simcha, a voice of joy and a voice of gladness. We rejoice with you on this Shabbat as you prepare to enter the chuppah.
May you know much joy and gladness throughout your years together, and the strength of spirit for times of sorrow and hardship.
We pray that your new home will be filled with delight, laughter, and unending devotion for each other.
May you build a Jewish home based on ma'asim tovim, acts of goodness, and may you be blessed with happiness, love, and peace. Okay, congregation, it's your turn.
Baruch atah Adonai, blessed are you, God, for this opportunity to celebrate together. Blessed are you, God, for all the joyful moments we share as a community and for the joy of this loving couple. Mazel tov. So I hear there's like some candy out there. We're going to invite you to gently share the sweetness of a new celebration as Rabbi and I step to the side and we sing. Siman tov, oh mazel tov, siman tov, oh mazel tov, siman tov, oh mazel tov, siman tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael.
There's something to be said for doing this when there are small children present because they very readily go and pick up all the candy that's been thrown.
But our small children are busy celebrating Shabbat in the social hall.
Yep. So watch your step unless you're gathering candy, in which case watch your step and continue to gather candy. So it is time to settle ourselves in our seats, to center ourselves, to prepare ourselves for Shabbat, for these 25 hours of rest. I'm going to invite you to physically prepare yourself by sitting up straight and only do these things that are comfortable for you to do so. If you're comfortable doing them, then go ahead. So that includes sitting up straight, putting both feet flat on the floor, uncrossing your arms, even closing your eyes. Whatever of those are comfortable for you to do, you are invited to do those things. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to take 3 deep breaths to set an intention for Shabbat. 3 is the number of intention. The intention for this Shabbat might be the joy and delight of celebrating with family and community as you anticipate a beautiful moment in time. The joy for this Shabbat might be just putting everything down, all the lists, all the burdens, just put them down, even if only for this service, but maybe even for all of Shabbat. The joy of this Shabbat might be time to encounter the holiness of Shabbat. Whatever it is, it's your intention. But I invite you now to take 3 deep breaths and to set that intention for Shabbat.
Dodi likrat kala, pede Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pede Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pede Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nekabela. בתפילה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה. שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו. להגיד כי אשר אדוני, צורי ולוב לטבו. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני.
comfortable in doing so, please rise as we continue with our service. Please remain standing. I aspire to an eloquent seeing of all earth's seasons, inspired touching of flesh, flower, and stone, true hearing of others, journey, self, and terrain, the difficult dignity of individual thought, an inner burning of commandment, a sometime certainty of divine presence, weaving of sorrow into becoming, upwelling of seated but surprising joy, into this life courageously toward the unknown purpose.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, לשיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי ואתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Please join with me. We are Israel, witness to God's covenant. We are Israel, forbidden to worship power. We are Israel, prophets of a vision for all. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. We are Israel, trying to beat swords into plowshares. We are Israel, teaching sacred words from Torah. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice flow as a mighty stream. We are Israel, proclaiming your truth as we did on the shores of the sea.
אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, tehilot, ozeh peleh. Malchutcha rauvanecha, mokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Zehili, zehili, anu ve'amiru. Malchutcha rauvanecha, mokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Zehili, zehili, anu ve'amiru. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora, nora, nora tehilot, ozeh peleh. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora, nora, nora tehilot, ozeh peleh, ozeh peleh, ozeh peleh. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Sinai was only the beginning. The Torah has never ceased to grow. In every age, it has been purified and enlarged. It has a permanent core and an expanding periphery. It expands as the horizon of our vision grows. Nor are God's revelations confined to Israel. God has been the inspiration of the great and good among all families of the earth. God's love and guidance reach out to all the world. We continue with the Amidah. I invite all who are comfortable in doing so to please rise.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agiti latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshe Umagin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav leHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umidam Melach, Melech Mimit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Talachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah Kadosh Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yalelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
acceptable to you, all my
take time now to say prayers on behalf of those who are in need of healing, healing of body, healing of spirit, healing of mind. For those who are joining us on Zoom this evening, you are now invited to put the names of those you are keeping in mind for healing in the chat, and we will add them to our list. And for those of you who are in the sanctuary, when I finish with the list that is up on the screens, I will invite you to add names of people that you're keeping in mind for healing. As a sacred community, we keep in our prayers for healing Susan Alexander, Joy Alvarado, Susie Anderson, Hal Arnold, Juventino Avalos, Virginia Becker, Tony Baraldi, Jeff Bradfield, Jean Brosco, Lisa Brunkhorst, Hildardo Carrera, Sandy Christofferson, Joseph Conant, Kevin Cooper, Jen Dawson, Dominic Eads, Ariana Elness, Mildred Fisher, Jenny Forel, Judy Kyman, Ronald Kaplan, Nancy Katz, Karen Levin, Norma Levinson, Mario Lopez, Pablo Radigaruba Lopez, Brandy Matson, Emily McWhirter, Carmen Munn, Brian Nog, Pedro Comi Olimpio, Nadine Ostro, Doris Parker, Wendy Passer, Gail Peterson, Jamie Poole, Mark Ratner, Gloria Romero Downing, Holly Rosenberg, Samuel Rosinski, George Sachs, Steve Seglin, Teresa Serrano, Linda J. Sherman, Leon Simard, Teresa Smith, Dee Dee Spiegel, Chrissy Swenson, Sarah Jane Tietzel, Mason Volkman, Laura J. West, Barb Wigg, Brent Wine, Kate Ewell. And those in our sanctuary are those that you're keeping in mind for healing? We also keep in mind Nancy Scott, Bryce Thurston, Harper Naub, Diana Eitz Hoken, Candy Vogel, John McGee, Patricia Anderson, Claire Agar, Ted Agar, Lloyd Agar, David Irvine, Bob Pearson. For those that we've named and for those that we keep close in our hearts, we sing this prayer together.
Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Sheberach avotenu, sheberach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
So Shavuot is either 1 day or 2 days, depending on where you live and depending on all sorts of things, but we wanted to add a taste of the pilgrimage festival Shavuot to our service tonight. One does not travel to Jerusalem, one returns, one ascends. The road taken by generations, the path of longing on the way to redemption. One brings rucksacks stuffed with memories to each mountain and to each hill. In the cobbled white alleyways, one offers a blessing for the memories of the past, which have been renewed. One does not travel to Jerusalem, one returns. We continue with songs of praise, psalms of praise, also songs, psalms and songs, called Hallel, which is part of a festival service.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu likro et hallel. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to sing hymns of praise. Odul Adonai, ki tov, ki leolam chazdo. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Odul Adonai, ki tov, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ki leolam chazdo.
So now I have to listen to what I said, which is to watch my step amid all of this candy that is here. So I have a story that takes place in a shtetl in Russia, maybe one similar to where my great-great-grandparents lived. And there was a man by the name of Reuven. And Reuven went to the big city to do some transactions, to do some business. And on his way back to his little teeny village, he got a little lost. He's like, I think there's a shortcut. So he started to go through what would be a shortcut and found himself completely lost and found that the sun was coming down and what was he going to do? And all of a sudden, he heard music. He heard people singing, and there was clearly some sort of campfire all the way in the distance, and he could barely hear it, but the music was so beautiful, and it sounded like this. I did it, I did it, I died, I died, I died. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I died, I died, I died. I did it, I did it, I died, I died, I died, I died, I died, I did it, I did it, I died, I died, I died, I died, I died, I did it, I did it, I. So Reuven very quietly got closer to the campfire, and he could see them, but they couldn't see him, which was a good thing because they were bandits. And he did not want to be caught by the bandits, so he was very, very quiet, but the music was so beautiful. He couldn't believe how amazing this music was, so he hid himself the best that he could, and listened to them sing more and more as it got more and more raucous. I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. And he watched very carefully, and they soon, because they were drinking and stuff, they soon fell asleep, and he waited until the false dawn that happens before the real dawn, and he figured out where he was, and he started walking home. And soon enough, he was at his village, and his best friend, Shimon, met him at the gate of the village. And Shimon is like, Reuven, where were you? We were so worried you didn't come home last night. We were expecting you last night. What happened? You have to tell me everything. And Reuven opened his mouth and answered Shimon with, I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. Shimon grabbed his friend Reuven and is like, Reuven, what is wrong with you? And Reuven just kind of shook his head and he's like, you've got to tell your wife Rachel. Rachel really needs to see you. She's been so worried. And the kids, they've been so worried. So Reuven goes home. He gets home. His wife Rachel meets him. His kids meet him. And she's like, where have you been? I was so worried there could have been bandits. You could have not come home at all. Where have you been? What's been going on? And Reuven opened his mouth and I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. And Rachel's like, what is wrong with you? I've been married to you all these years, and this is the answer that you've given. I was so worried. You've got to give me a better answer. And he just shook his head. And Rachel wasn't sure what to do, so she's like, you have got to see the rabbi. So she dragged him to the rabbi, and I think you know what Reuven said to the rabbi. And the rabbi said, I don't know. I think this is a job for the cantor. So they dragged Reuven to the cantor, and the cantor said, no, what's going on with you? And Reuven opened his mouth and I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. Well, this time the cantor was, there's our cantor.
Okay. What does the cantor do? What does the cantor do?
The cantor sings along with him, and the entire town by this time has surrounded them, and the entire town is kind of singing along with him too, just like all of you were singing along with me, and it sounded like,
I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 die. I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. I die, 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 die. I die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die.
And Reuben said, "Oh my goodness, thank you." And he wiped his forehead and he was like, I wanted to remember that tune. And I knew that I wasn't going to remember that tune until other people remembered the tune as well. And now all of you know the tune, and the cantor knows the tune, and I will not lose that tune, but I needed to remember the tune, and I needed to share it with all of you, because to me, it was the most beautiful music that I've seen, and you heard, and you're not going to believe what happened when I was coming home, and I will tell you all about it. Thank you, Cantor.
Thank you, Rabbi.
So, what's up with that? Why a story about a song? Because Shavuot is the time of Matan Torah, the giving of Torah. And that means the giving of Torah to the Jewish people by God, standing at Mount Sinai and receiving revelation. But Matan Torah also means the Torah that we give each other. There's a reason why in the V'ahavta, the prayer that we say after the Shema, it talks about teaching our children. And the verb that it uses for teaching our children is the verb for repeating things over and over and over again. There's a reason why we read the same stories and work our way through the Torah every year. Each week we have the same set of parts of the Torah that we read. And we go through it year after year after year because the Torah is the same every year, but we are different. And when we step into it, we are not the same. We are different people. And part of that is the repetition. Part of that is sharing with other people. Part of it is sharing our stories, sharing our music, sharing our best thoughts about Torah. So yes, Matan Zman, Matan Torah, the time of giving of Torah. Yes, God gave us Torah at Mount Sinai. But we give and share Torah with each other. I diddy die, diddy die.
I diddy die, diddy die, 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 die. I diddy die, diddy die. Pretty catchy.
Isn't it though? I invite those who are comfortable in doing so to please stand as we begin to conclude our service.
Alleluia, Shabbat l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוסף בראשית, שלא סלק גויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We continue with our time of remembering where we are saying Kaddish, a prayer that does not mention death, but that mentions God's coming kingdom. And yet we remember those who have passed. If you are coming to us on Zoom, I invite you to put the names of those that you're remembering from Kaddish into the chat. And there will be time for those who are in the sanctuary to remember those as well. We are keeping in mind during the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, Chad Thomas Schaefer, Alexander Lee Christensen, Clifford Abbott Leviton, Judith K. Stern, Alfred Mark Brodkey, Samuel Gendler, Gilbert Smith. And you are invited to stand as you hear the names of somebody that you are here to remember today. I am also saddened to announce that Nancy Hornstein has passed, and she will be laid to rest this coming week. We are remembering the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Harry L. Abrahams, Ida Alexander, Rosa Jean Passman Barron, Barbara Lou Brophy, Celia F. Kassman, Mayor Cohen, Lloyd Cohen, Ida Cohen, Johann John Denkovich, Bernie Edelstein, Lois Dvorkin Epstein, Jack G. Epstein, Laura J. Felt, Bloomy G. Eisman, Rosa Cattleman, Jay Lashinsky, Minnie Levy, Arthur A. Levy, Saul Levy, Bertha B. Martin, Ruth Masters Rickover, Frida B. Milder, Hyman David Ossoff, Hubert I. Rosenblum, Irene Rosewater, David L. Ruback, E.I. Rubin, Louis Sokoloff, Daniel Stein, Hannah Wolf, Emil B. Zeiner. Are there others that we keep in mind during this time of remembering? Our folks on Zoom are remembering Rita Arnold, Karen Gans, Dr. Louis Kay and Matthew Van Tassel, Nathan Ullman. I invite those, we keep in mind all those that we've named, we keep those that are close in our hearts, and I invite everyone who's comfortable in doing so to please rise in support of our mourners as we say together as a sacred community the word, oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. We have the joy of welcoming folks from Temple Bethel of Rockford, Illinois tonight. And on this Shabbat, we are remembering their yahrzeit list as well. Conrad Nelson, Ethel Schumann, S. Robert Oberndorf, Feiga Kleinberg, Florence Bologna, Molly Shanhouse, Celia F. Kassman, and we mourn the recent passing of Nick Schuller and Rabbi Lester Frazen. We now recite the words of Kaddish together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach Chirutei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'zman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Omei Almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudsha B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. So I want to I want to welcome Temple Bethel of Rockford, Illinois. Their Rabbi, Rabbi Bina Wing, asked if there was a service that would be convenient for her folks because she was looking for a virtual way of having her folks be able to have a service to go to and have their yard sites read. And I was like, choose us, choose us. It's perfect. You guys start at 6, we start at 6. We're happy to do it. So welcome to all the folks who are here from Temple Bethel virtually. We're lovely. We're happy to have you. Everybody who is a board member, get ready, because you're now going to stand up and you're going to wave hello. Come on, guys. If you have a question that you would like to ask a board member or something that you would like them to know, find them in the Oneg Shabbat afterwards. Join us tonight because we have a Friday community celebration. Please stay for a free sweet treat at our Oneg, where we will be serving carousels, which is a soft serve icery. It is that away. It's a food truck.
I think that all of Oneg Shabbat is
It's there.
outside.
There's places to sit outside. You can come back inside with your ice. I think there might be soft serve ice cream too. It should be delish, because learning should be sweet.
And we are sad to say that it's time to start saying shalom to Rabbi Appel. We're so grateful that you spent the last year with us, but her time with us is coming to an end. Next week, June 2nd, will be saying our official farewell during services, and her last sermon and the last time she's on the bima will be the Friday after that, June 9th. Please don't miss your chance to say farewell.
Thank you. I keep saying it's going to be hard to leave Omaha. Truly, it's going to be hard to leave Omaha. This is the last weekend to RSVP for our music bingo event. Come on June 1st, which, believe it or not, June is Thursday, folks. For pizza, beverages, good conversation, and a good time, the cost is $5 per person. Please attend our annual meeting on Tuesday, June 13th at 7 p.m. in person or on Zoom. There will be a State of the Congregation address. There will be awards and voting on the upcoming slate. And save the date. Monday, July 24th is our annual golf outing. This year is a shotgun scramble. Registration opens soon. All the golfers in the room know what a shotgun scramble is. All the rest of us are going, huh? But we're excited that the golfers are excited about coming to our
Absolutely.
golf outing.
And
Yes.
it's a wonderful fundraiser for the synagogue, so please come, show up, sponsor. It's good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון. הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. לחיים.
Ta-da.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ בתיאבון. And our final song before you join our Tat Shabbat community outside for our Oneg Shabbat is Livracha. This blessing comes from our festival liturgy, and we wish that this season, this time from one festival to the next, shall be for blessing and not for curse, for plenty and not for scarcity, for life and not for death. And if you know it, I invite you to join in. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.